A day after a New York jury delivered a historic guilty verdict in his criminal hush money trial, Donald Trump has called the trial to be rigged against him. Now, speaking from the Trump Tower's lobby, Donald Trump argued that the gag order that was imposed by the judge Juan Merchan prevented him from criticizing witnesses and many others associated with this case. However, he's vowed to challenge his conviction on 34 counts of falsifying his business records.
As far as the trial itself, it was very unfair. We weren't allowed to use our election expert under any circumstances. You saw what happened to some of the witnesses that were on our side. They were literally crucified by this man who looks like an angel, but he's really a devil. He looks so nice and soft. People say, oh, he seems like such a nice man. No, unless you saw him in action. And you saw that with a certain witness that went through hell. And when we wanted to do things, he wouldn't let us do those things. But when the government wanted something, they got everything. They got everything they wanted. It's a rigged.
All right, so that, of course, was the statement put out by Donald Trump, where he called that trial against him to be rigged. And to give us more updates on this, we're being joined by our correspondent Susan Tehrani, who's joining us live from New York. She's at this moment in front of the Trump Towers, where just a little while back, Donald Trump, of course, put out that statement. Susan, this is a critical moment in the lead up to the elections, presidential elections in November later this year. Now, Donald Trump has said that he will appeal against the guilty verdict that has been handed out to him. So give us as to how this trial will proceed from here. Will it go to the same judge? Or what grounds does the Republican leader now have to actually feel that this verdict will be overturned in the appeals court?
Right, yes, the Trump campaign was very clear from the beginning that they will appeal this decision. It will go to another court, not this judge, but this judge really, his business with this judge isn't over yet. July 11th is the day that Donald Trump will be sentenced. Is it going to be under house arrest, probation, or some are even wondering whether or not, despite the fact that experts have said that it's very unlikely, will the judge decide that Donald Trump needs to serve prison time? I do want to say that it's very important to note that while the Justice Department and this court wanted to make clear that this is not political, because it's an election year, we have only a few months left to the upcoming elections. Donald Trump is a leading Republican candidate and the presumptive candidate. And that sentencing is going to happen just 5 days before the Republican National Convention. This indeed is very political. So we have to see, moving forward, how the Trump campaign wants to move forward with this. Also, the Biden-Harris campaign, we know, is going to really try to take advantage of this situation of running against the quote-unquote convicted felon. We did see that Joe Biden decided to chime in and say that, he needs his American campaign money to be able to beat someone like Donald Trump because democracy is in danger and whatnot. So there's a long road ahead. As the former president said, they're not open yet. But one thing is clear, this decision has really ramped up the support of Donald Trump's supporters. He has raised over $38 million in the last 24 hours alone.
That's very interesting. Thank you very much indeed, Susan, for joining us and getting us those details there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.